Mark was a 26-year-old man who lived in a small village with his parents. He never worked and spent most of his time relaxing or wandering around with friends. His parents repeatedly told him to find a job and build a better future, but he always ignored their advice. Eventually, they grew tired of his laziness. One morning, Mark finally decided to change his life. He packed a small backpack with food and water and left the village for the city, hoping to find work and earn an honest living. The only route to the city passed through an ancient forest. The villagers often warned travelers never to enter the forest because it was haunted by restless spirits. They believed anyone who stayed there after sunset would never return. Mark laughed at the stories, convinced they were only old legends. By afternoon, he had reached the middle of the forest. Suddenly, dark clouds covered the sun. A freezing wind swept through the trees, and an eerie silence filled the air. Even the birds stopped singing. As Mark continued walking, he noticed a mysterious cave glowing with a golden light. Curious, he stepped inside. The sight before him left him speechless. The entire cave was filled with mountains of gold coins, sparkling jewelry, and priceless treasure. It was more wealth than he had ever imagined. Overcome by excitement, Mark quickly filled his backpack with as much gold as he could carry. The moment he picked up the last piece of gold, the cave began to shake violently. A deep, terrifying voice echoed through the darkness. "Return our treasure." Mark froze in fear. Dozens of glowing red eyes appeared in the shadows. Slowly, ghostly figures emerged. They had pale faces, long black robes, sharp claws, and horrifying smiles. The spirits had been guarding the treasure for centuries. Without wasting another second, Mark grabbed his backpack and ran as fast as he could. The ghosts chased him through the forest, their terrifying screams echoing between the ancient trees. Cold hands almost reached his shoulders, and strange whispers surrounded him from every direction. As he ran, Mark remembered something his grandfather had once told him. Evil spirits cannot easily cross running water. With renewed hope, he sprinted deeper into the forest. Fallen trees, thorny bushes, and slippery rocks slowed him down, but he refused to stop. After several minutes, he finally spotted a fast-flowing river. A large tree had fallen across the river, forming a natural bridge. Holding tightly to his heavy backpack, Mark carefully crossed the log while the ghosts rushed toward the riverbank. The spirits stopped at the edge of the water. They screamed in anger but could not cross the rushing river. Mark finally breathed a sigh of relief. However, his journey was far from over. Night fell quickly, and terrifying wolf howls echoed through the forest. To stay safe, Mark climbed a tall tree and remained there until sunrise. The next morning, he continued toward his village. On the way, he found an injured old traveler lying beside the road. Instead of ignoring him, Mark shared his water and food and helped him reach safety. The old man smiled and said, "Gold becomes a blessing only when it is used for good." Those words stayed with Mark forever. When he reached home, he placed the gold before his parents and told them everything that had happened in the haunted forest. His parents were amazed that he had survived. Mark used the treasure wisely. He started a successful business, built a comfortable home for his family, helped poor villagers, and even built a small school for children. From that day forward, he never lived a lazy life again. He realized that true wealth comes not only from gold, but also from courage, hard work, kindness, and making the right choices. Even today, villagers say that the haunted cave still exists deep inside the ancient forest. Every night, the red-eyed ghosts continue guarding the hidden treasure, waiting for the next greedy traveler brave enough to enter.